Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a full face of drugstore makeup. So if you're interested on learning how to achieve this look and what products I used for the low price, stay tuned. Okay, so first things first, I always go in with a primer first. For me personally, it's like super annoying because I feel like my pores are kind of big, like around this area. So I'm going in with the CoverGirl True Blend Base Business. It's pore minimizing. That's the type of concealer that I'm going to use. You guys can see it. And again, I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it like here. It's kind of like all over my face. This one, the consistency of it is pretty thick, so I feel like it actually does do a good job like filling in my pores, which is my #1 concern. So just go ahead and put it on with my fingers. I give it like a second because it's still kind of wet, but once it dries out a little bit, I go in with my foundation. So the foundation that I'm using is, again, CoverGirl True Blend. It's matte made. So the number that I got it in is D10. If I'm being honest, I actually think I could have gone to the lighter shade because sometimes I feel like this looks a little bit dark on me. It's a little bit warm for what I'm used to, but to overcompensate, I just typically like highlight my areas a little bit more, and then it's not too bad. To apply my foundation, I actually use the Jaclyn Hill brush JH12. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what the name of it is, but I'll just add it on the screen. I just go ahead and pat it in. Although it is a matte foundation, for me personally, like I'm super oily. Like I'm literally always oily. So I'll still go ahead and put like a mattifying powder over it. I know that typically people do it at the end. For myself, I literally like double up on that stuff because sis, like I'm always oily, okay? So the one that I use is from Essence and it's called All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. This is what it looks like. And honestly, this stuff is so cheap, but it works so well. So after I put on my foundation, I just go ahead and like blot it on kind of thing just to make it even more matte. Next up, we have the concealer step. So I actually use this concealer. It's called HD Concealer and Foundation by RK by Kiss, and the color I use is RKBC02. So I just go ahead and highlight here, a little bit here, and a little bit down here. Now, again, like I said, I feel like the foundation is a little bit warm for me. So I tend to put a little bit extra concealer to kind of like, you know, break it up so it doesn't look like I'm just wearing the completely wrong shade. Now, while my concealer is just applied to my face, not blended out or anything like that, I actually go ahead and do my eyebrows just because I find that when I like instantly try to like, you know, blend it in, it's still kind of like a little bit too wet for me. So I like to let it sit for just a little bit so it gets a bit more like dry and tacky. And I find that it looks better on my skin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do my brows just like real quick right now and then blend in my concealer. So now that I have all my concealer on, I have concealer everywhere that I typically have it, I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out. Now, I know a lot of people use a beauty blender to blend out their concealer. However, for myself, I feel like that kind of picks up a little bit too much product for me, and I like my highlight to be like pretty noticeable. So I actually just go in with a brush and I ended up blending it out. And the brush that I use is actually, again, a Jaclyn Hill JH. I'm halfway blind. So it's a Jaclyn Hill JH53. Jaclyn Hill JH53. Don't judge me, I'm not wearing my glasses. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out my highlight, okay? So now that I relatively have the highlight on my face buffed out, now again, I just have it, like I just like somewhat blended it. I haven't buffed it out or put on my contour or anything like this. So if I look kind of crazy at this point, that's okay. It does get better, I swear. So now if you actually watched my brow tutorial video, you'll see the same Jaclyn Hill brush that I had mentioned, which is the Jaclyn Hill JH49. And from my memory, I'm pretty sure this is the Through Thick and Thin eyebrow brush. So I'm just gonna go in with the other side of it and just, again, blend out the concealer that I have around my eyebrows. Be right back. Okay, so now we have the concealer step done. So next is going to be the contour color. To be honest with you, I was like looking for a perfect contour color or a perfect contour shade for like so long, and I would always find that I would get those, like, you know, little compacts that have like 3 shades or something. You spend all the money on it, you end up using one, you still have to like kind of mix it with another one to get it dark enough and all that kind of stuff, blah 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 blah. So what I actually ended up doing, I went to MAC and I asked them for like a contour shade kind of thing, and what she suggested to me was actually to get one of their press powders, like their Studio Fix press powders in a darker shade, and just use that as my contour color. And some of you are probably going to be like, obviously sis, like that's the best thing to do, but for me, I wasn't thinking about it. So finally I went there and did that. Now I know that this video is supposed to be a full face of makeup with only drugstore brand makeup. However, I really haven't found a contour color that I liked from the drugstore, so I'm gonna cheat just a little bit and I'm actually gonna use a MAC contour color. So this is Studio Fix from MAC. It's their press powder, and the number that I got it in is NW58. You guys wanna see what it looks like? And this is what I'm gonna be using to contour. I know that there's definitely some people that will go in with a much smaller brush to do the contour on their nose. However, for myself, I don't like when it looks like my contour on my nose is like too overdone. So I honestly just go in with my big brush too and just go along the sides of it really quickly, just to give myself like a pretty light contour on my nose. Because I did go in and contour my jawline, I always have to remember, just put a little bit more of the light contour in between those two so I don't look super crazy when I'm turned to the side. And again, I just go ahead and blend that out with the brush as well. So now that I have everything on, I go ahead again using that All About Matte mattifying powder. I just get a little bit of it on a big powder brush and I go ahead and just like dust and blend and really try to like get that less harsh lines and all that kind of stuff with my contour color as well as my highlight color. So I just like go over my whole face and just like really buff it out. So as you guys can see now, everything looks a lot more calmed down. I don't look like I have huge like light streaks, huge dark streaks. Everything is kind of just like blended all together. And that is pretty much how I apply like my skin, how I get my tones, my contours, all that kind of stuff. So for my eyes, I'm really basic. Like when it comes down to eyeshadow and all that kind of stuff, I am not a pro. I am not anything like that. So I really just like stick to like nude shades or like, you know, peachy, like really light shades. So I go in with one shade from the LA Girl, the Nudist eyeshadow palette. Go in with this shade right here. Don't mind the way that my compact looks. My niece, Charlotte, got into it. So just, you know, don't judge. So I actually just very quickly use a PORE brush, again, from the drugstore. Just tap it in very lightly because this is super pigmented. Grab a little bit, I tap my brush, and then I just very lightly dust it on my lids. Nothing crazy, that's it. So the next thing that I'm gonna do, I do tend to wear liquid eyeliner pretty often. Nothing too crazy or anything like that, but just some liquid liner on the top, some mascara, another little bit of that mattifying powder. I know you guys think I'm going crazy with it, but trust me, I am so oily. Like, looks like it's raining on my face all the time. I'm so oily. So I use that a good amount of time, put on some clear gloss, and then that's pretty much my whole look. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on this eyeliner, put on some mascara. This mascara is also from Essence and it's called Lash Princess. So that's the mascara I'm going to be using. This eyeliner honestly is just like a basic one I got from my hair store. Again, super cheap, super affordable. And then I will be back to show you guys. And that's it. This is my full face of makeup with just drugstore products. My everyday look, pretty simple to follow. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a nice thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and any content that you guys want to see, any questions you have, just leave it down in the comments below. Thanks again for spending your time with me. Bye-bye.